Hey guys, and welcome to Pixel Cherry Ninja's channel. It's the weekend, which means it's time for that weekly news roundup. As always, we will begin with FPGA gaming news, the MiSTer, the Analogue Pocket, and any other FPGA gaming news out there that is worth reporting. After that, we will move over to some random and retro gaming news. If you're not subscribed to the channel, then a subscription and a like is always super duper appreciated. Timestamps are available, so use those to navigate your way around the video. And if you want to further support the channel, I do have a Patreon set up. Before we go further in as well, guys, let's talk about the sponsor, MiSTer Add-ons, an absolutely awesome family-run store that will take care of all your MiSTer needs. And finally, don't forget to check out London's best arcade, Free Play City. Pack it up, pack it in, let me begin. Okay, let's begin with the latest from Harringay and team. First of all, guys, as we begin this episode, I want to wish each and every single one of you happy holidays. I hope you had like a good festive period, and I hope you have like a fantastic new year. So let's have a look at a series of tweets from Harringay. Harringay here says, Konami's Twin 16 system is a rare beast as it uses a combination of ROM and RAM to store the sprite bitmaps and just RAM to store the background tile bitmaps. Quite unusual for arcade hardware. The subsidiary M68000 is in charge of populating this bitmap RAM. So we can see like a few games here, right? Dark Adventure, Kubrick, and Gradius 2, which we are so looking forward to. Next up here, Dark Adventure Konami 1987, supporting 8 memory chips holding 64K times 4 bits each. Total 256 kilobytes. Just a small part of the system, holding the visible scroll bitmaps. Contemporary ZX Spectrum had 48 kilobytes as the full system memory. Arcade games played on a whole different league. And having a look at this from Harringay, where he says, check out the schematics that Scutis77, Ulf Scutnabber, made of this board. And Scutis is amazing, and it's because of a lot of the work that Scutis has done or is even doing that we're getting this Konami Twin 16 core. And it's been in the works for a long time, and hopefully we'll see it like sooner rather than later. So over here, some really good news. Dark Adventure struggling to boot up in the upcoming core work in progress. I want to say good news, this is all progress, where Harringay says work in progress. And finally here, Vulcan Venture, which is Gradius 2. This is the game that I most want from this core. So Gradius 2 finally boots up on MiSTer FPGA. So fantastic news. Watch this space as we get more progress on this core, and hopefully we'll get a beta release of it. And this is something that we hopefully will be enjoying in early 2025. Alright guys, so this is a game called Metamorphic Force. It's a game that when I do lists of what games you will most like to see come over to FPGA, this one always makes like your most wanted. Now, this is no confirmation that we're getting an FPGA core, but whenever Furtick tweets something, especially regarding arcade hardware, I can't help but get excited. He does a lot of reverse engineering work that benefits a lot of developers, and developers use his work to make those cores, or make those cores even more accurate. Furtick, the work he does is amazing. So naturally, when he put this tweet out, I was like, yeah, I have to report this. So I has a Metamorphic Force. It doesn't work. Okay, sad news. And a follow-up tweet here, where Furtick then says, okay, so good news, after some work, it boots and runs fine, although no blue and sprites have mirroring issues. Bad news, it's in good enough shape to be saved. Custom chips won't be decapped. So maybe we'll get something here, maybe we won't, I don't know, but I'm definitely excited about this. Now, remember this game? I remember watching a YouTube video on it where this is a game you couldn't want to see because as you walk along, your energy depletes. But apparently that's in one of the regional versions. Some of the different regional versions don't suffer from that issue. Either way, a great arcade game, and this would be a great addition to FPGA devices such as the MiSTer and the Analogue Pocket. Some excellent news from Raki. Raki here is saying, I'll release the public core of Bubsys, which is the Konami bubble system, and Bubsys ROM in January. And January is in a few days, right? So next month, hopefully, we'll enjoy a public release of the Konami bubble system. They also say, in 2023, I traced some gate arrays on Twin 16, then I threw project away after simulating GFX. I think the Hatego team will probably finish Gradius 2 first. My next target is Kiki Kaikai, which I dumped MCU for. And let's have a quick look at Kiki Kaikai before we go over to System 16, just to have a look at the remaining games on the Konami bubble system. So there you go, Kiki Kaikai, very reminiscent of Pokey and Rocky on the Super Nintendo. But yeah, let's now head over to System 16. Great site, by the way. Konami Bubble System hardware. And the games on there that we've got, we'll just scroll down the page. Galactic Warriors, looks like a fighter. Gradius, fantastic game. What else have we got further down? Hyper Crash, also known as Hyper Crush and Attack Crush, some kind of vehicle game. I'm yet to try these out. Konami RF2, Red Fighter, and Twin Beast. So something to look forward to in the new year. Just a quick congratulations to Taki Udon, because Time Extension have voted the MiSTer Pi, or the MiSTer Pi is our pick for the best retro hardware of 2024. And yeah, we've got more to come from Retro Remake, different iterations of the MiSTer project, and we'll have a look at those right now. I was going to start this by saying, let's have a look at the latest with MiSTer Pi. I always thought whatever they were making would have been like MiSTer Pi PS1, MiSTer Pi Portable, MiSTer Pi Handheld, but they're different names and they're branded slightly different. So let's have a look at a few tweets, and there's some very, very interesting stuff here. So Taki Udon here says, the mechanical design for our PS1 FPGA console, codename R21, is almost finished. Need to finish the controller ports before we can make a sample PCB. Hard cap for the recommended retail price is $225, which is the price of a raw DE10 Nano if you're purchasing that from Thoracic. Founders Edition have huge discount, plus signature of full Retro Remake team on the inside of the shell, should you ever want to open your shell. And that's, if we cast our minds back, this is what he kind of showed here. USB ports, some PlayStation controller ports built in, and a couple of memory card slots as well. Here we go. Okay, let's move over to the next one now. Akina here asks, will there be conversion kits for MiSTer Pi user? And Taki answers, this doesn't use MiSTer Pi, it's a completely different product. Every console is. Okay, so that's a bit of light there. So whatever newer consoles are made, they're completely different, as in maybe there's a brand new PCB design for that to fit that particular case or that particular use case. Matthew Heyman here says, what kind of video out options can we expect? This will be a must buy for no matter what. Okay. HDMI, VGA, DN10 component and composite video. So plenty of options there. Okay, awesome. 4 controller ports, and Taki answers, you would have to use a multi-tap. We only have 2 controllers and 2 memory card slots, and that's like the original PlayStation, 2 controllers, 2 memory card slots. And yeah, if you want your friends around, get that kind of L-shaped multi-tap out. I remember those. So Sammy here asks, this is awesome. When can we expect to be able to place an order? So Taki answers, Founders Editions will go on pre-sale after I have a working prototype. So we haven't really got a date there. The prototype might be sooner rather than later, but as soon as Taki gets the prototype, he'll start doing like a pre-sale, right? So a pre-sale of that. So keep an eye on the channel, keep an eye on Taki socials if you are interested in a PlayStation themed MiSTer. Akina here says, is it gonna be your only sort of one use case console? Meaning if I prefer another type of shell, should I wait? Also, are you gonna update us on the HDMI screen delivery schedule? Taki responds, this one will only ever have this outer case. The PCB isn't meant to be sold on its own like MiSTer Pi, and it's not intended to use other cases. This one will only ever have this shell. Okay, so yeah, this is, if you're buying this, you're buying it for this and not to do any DIY projects. Video Gamer Obsession here says, do you have plans for a multi-cart disc FPGA based everything console, like what Kevin Horton had ideas for with a Zimba 2000 before joining forces with Analogue? As someone who keeps buying multiple FPGA based consoles, I am totally on board for a one FPGA to rule them all. Kind of reminds me of Lord of the Rings there. Taki responds, we have one cartridge based FPGA console on the way. I'm not against having a console that can interface with more cartridges. It just needs a very passionate FPGA programmer behind it. Okay, so we have one cartridge based FPGA console on the way. I wonder what that could be. Let me know what you guys think what you guys think it's likely to be. Is it going to be an N64? Is it going to be a Super Nintendo? Is it going to be something like the Mega Drive? I have no idea. If you think you do, let me know down below. Hey, we know we are in the holiday season, but there is no rest for Zaparoo. Okay, there's not as much movement as there has been in previous weeks, but there still is movement. So Anime Otaku here says, new cassette case, game covers now available on GitHub. And if that's something you like, you can go and check that out. More games and designs coming soon. And just having a look at a bigger version of pictures. Hey man, if you ever used the tapes back in 80s, 90s, or that era where you recorded your favorite songs on the radio and you made those mixtapes, right? That's where the term mixtape comes from. So you can have like a cassette looking case and you can put your favorite arcade games on there, RoboCop, Simpsons, X-Men vs Street Fighter, whatever you like. And just having a look at the rest of the pictures, and you can stack them up on your shelves like you've got your TDK 90s or your TDK 60s. Yes, those were the ones that I brought a lot. That's Aliens, fantastic arcade game, great work from Anime Otaku, and it really does look like a cassette case. Amazing, good stuff. And Anime Otaku here says, and this is where you may be able to help and get involved in the Zaparoo project. So update game launcher project. This is something that Anime Otaku is working on, and he here says, I'm not a very experienced developer myself. I'm running into a lot of obstacles and it takes me a lot of time to figure things out. That's why I'm looking for JavaScript developers who are willing to join the project to speed things up. So if you want to get involved with Anime Otaku using his game launcher, a game launcher that you can use via an Android or via like a web browser to launch games on your MiSTer, then hit Anime Otaku up. Details will be in the description, and you can join this community project. In this section here, we're going to look at the MiSTer FPGA forum, where often updates are posted. In fact, any updates that are available via Update Tool are posted on this particular thread here, and there are quite a few. So rather than breaking them down into individual sections, we'll just have a look at this and I'll read through the notes that are up on screen so you can hear it, just in case you're not looking at your screen, because apparently a lot of people watch this video in a podcast kind of format. They just have earphones on, and while they're going around doing things, shopping, DIY, whatever, they're listening to it. So for the MiSTer main, I'm just going to read it out now. Support for Thrustmaster wheels, and that is from Matthias Fergus. Hopefully I'm not butchering names, I probably am. So SNES add Safari Turbo support, combined ROM, and that's from SRG320. Screenshot, don't squish video when it is rotated, and that's from Zach4223. Video skip dot files from backgrounds. Saturn initialize the external backup memory, that's from SRG320. Initial Philips CDI support, that's from Andre Zeps. AO486 improve memory initialization from Humpy. Fix game controller DB mapping for entries that map D-pad to analog stick axis instead of hats, and that's Zach4223 again. Other fixes and tweaks. Going further down, the AO486 core OPO3 fixes from Greg Taylor. Fixes and tweaks in VGA BIOS PIT RTC CPU from Humpley. Then we've got ZX next. Port version 3.02 changes, and that is from Alb Conde. Hopefully I'm getting the names right. Really, I'm trying here. And then for Apple II, we've got improved colors based on latest work from Leonard's Tickmanis, maths-derived NTC palette, and that's from NewsD. Free built-in palettes plus option to load custom palette from file, that's from NewsD. Fixed Apple II delete key, ASC II, or is that ASCII, is that what you call it? Code 127 was previously unmapped, that's from NewsD. New shortcut F8 cycles through palettes NTSC Apple, and all the rest of it there. New shortcut F9 cycle through monitor modes, and here you go, you've got them there. Updated CPU to latest version from T65 from Jayako, updated framework. And then finally down here we've got the SNES, many fixes and tweaks from SRG320, updated framework. Now I know some people were saying that in the latest version of the SNES core that was available via update tools, some stuff was broken or they were having issues with some stuff, and it was recommended to use the latest unstable version. Hopefully all those people that are running update tool are not really dabbling in the world of unstable. Once you run the latest update tool, hopefully any issues you may have experienced with the SNES core are now completely gone. the awesome Buddu 2 that is working on porting the MiSTer Game Boy Advance core over to the Analogue Pocket. He's making excellent progress on that. So I did a couple of live streams on this, and he updated the core very recently, and now it supports the Pokemon games that weren't previously supported. So previously you try and load a Pokemon game, they won't work. Also, fast forward has been implemented to the core. The core isn't publicly available yet. We are testing it. We're testing it. So by the time it is released publicly for all the masses to enjoy, it has a lot of features. It is ready. Currently there's no real-time clock support, and also saving doesn't work. But when I was doing the live stream, as far as playing the core goes, it was an excellent experience, and we can play stuff like Pokemon Fire Red. And also, on another note, on the first stream I did, there was a Barbie game that didn't work, and for all you Barbie fans out there, congratulations. I tried that Barbie game that didn't work on the previous occasion, and you know what, guys, that game works now. What the heck is going on with SuperSEGA, guys? Guys, this project is insane, and memes are gonna live on about this project for years, maybe even decades to come. So we got the SuperSEGA. People were like, you're using the name Sega. No, it's all good with Sega. If Sega don't want us to use it, we won't use it. Then allegedly Sega got in touch and said, we want you to destroy all the consoles. We're gonna sue you for a whole bunch of money. Then their lawyer wanted money. Honestly, it sounds like I'm confused. This whole project is confused, guys. Like, it has been nuts. The latest thing that we kind of got was, no, the project is kind of coming to a halt. We're refunding everyone their money. Not sure if everyone got a refund. I think Alejandro said to Ian Lee, and maybe even Time Extension, that everyone's being refunded. It just sounded nuts. So when you get like the end is near and this project is ending, we're calling it a day. People saying that, you know, some people saying that this is a scam from the beginning, and this was their plan all along, to take the money and then cry wolf when Sega turned up and they said, oh, we've had to pay Sega all legal fees, we've had to destroy everything, very sorry, we can't give you a refund. But then it takes another twist just when you think it can't. So it's a Christmas miracle. This is an article on Time Extension. It's a Christmas miracle. SuperSEGA now claims Sega is totally okay with its FPGA console. What the heck is going on? They changed the name from SuperSEGA to Super, as you can see here, superspga.com. Really weird. So what does the article say? Yesterday it seemed that the curtain had finally fallen for the roller coaster that is the SuperSEGA project, or the Super SPGA, or like I recommended, what was it, Universal Retro and New Ultra System. They can take that name for free if they like. So SuperSEGA boss Alejandro Martin put his Lamborghini Gallardo up for sale, claimed that refunds were being processed, and basically called time on the whole thing. A series of events which won't have been all that surprising for all those who have been following the story closely. We've been sent yet another email from Martin, which has to rank as a true Christmas miracle if true. He now claims that Sega is perfectly okay with the console. Yes, really. Seriously, guys, this is just nuts. Sega allegedly sent them a letter telling them to cease, then they come back and say, well, you know what, we're actually good with it, right? So previously Martin has included a copy of the official communication from Sega's legal team regarding SuperSEGA, but in this email he has simply pasted the company's statement into the email body text. So that's what they got. Okay, so it reads as follows, and let's give this a read. You can see it on screen now, but here we go. Subject: information about SuperSEGA Super SPGA. Greetings to whomever of SuperSEGA Super SPGA group may concern. We are sorry to have interfered with your gaming console project without providing any evidence of your wrongdoing regarding these ongoing matters. We actually approve of your projects. Guys, approve. Like, according to them, this is what Sega told them. They're approving of them. This is just crazy. So we actually approve of your projects and appreciate your contributions to the gaming community's industries around the whole world. Guys, seriously, this is like watching like a soap opera now. Like, seriously, like one of those soap operas where someone finds they've got a long lost twin brother and then a triplet shows up. It is just crazy. So here we go, continue reading. Please understand that some of our legal team employees associates behind the false takedown requests, intentionally made false reports in order to commit crimes in the name of your group members for no reason. Guys, this is bananas, seriously. Please go ahead and continue your projects alongside keeping all of your manufactured units. Please feel free to contact Sega's offices for assistance if you need any help regarding your Super Sega Super FPGA console development. So Sega now are even saying that they will help them with development. What the heck? Please go ahead and report some of our legal team employees, associates behind these unlawful attacks for misconduct, harassment, etc. Sincerely, Sega Europe Legal Department. Right, I'll leave a link to this article if you do want to read and check this out for yourself. Check out the comment section as well. But guys, this truly is bananas. At this point, I'm personally thinking, are these guys doing some kind of documentary, right? Alejandro's been on TV before. He's played the guitar on the TV. He's appeared on some kind of comedy show. And this isn't just my thoughts. This is what some of the community are echoing, saying, is this the biggest troll ever? Has this guy just come to make an example of how gullible the retro gaming community on how easy it was to take their money, and all of a sudden we're going to get like a 2-hour documentary which is going to outline the whole timeline of this entire project, exactly how it went, what happened, how people gave money, and how he can't use a handbrake on a Lamborghini. This is just absolutely bananas, guys. This is something I wanted to have a look at, but honestly, the highest refresh rate screen I've got is 120 Hertz, so not exactly sure how well this will work for me. But if you're someone that's got a 240 Hertz plus monitor, you may benefit from this, because apparently this CRT simulation is just amazing. So this here from Blurbusters, again, I don't really know too much about it, but I wanted to put this in there because it really does sound amazing from the little that I've read on this. So CRT simulation in a GPU shader looks better than BFI, which is black frame insertion. This stuff like this, from what I understand, is going to get implemented, or you can use this with stuff like RetroArch and other emulators. But having a look at the bullet points here, major motion blur reduction on 240 Hertz plus displays, soft phosphor fade and rolling scan, less eye strain at same hertz than BFI or strobe mode, variable per pixel MPRT, Timothy Lotte's brightness redistribution algorithm, greater for reducing display motion blur of 60 years of legacy 60 FPS 60 Hz content, works on LCDs and OLEDs, real time for retro and emulator uses, and SmoMo modes for educational purposes, brightness adjustment, less motion blur at lower gain values by trading off brightness, seamless, no banding when ABL algorithm in display isn't interfering. So guys, I'm not going to go through the rest of this entire article, but here you go. Oh, we'll go look at this here. So real-time simulation of 60 Hz CRT, 120 Hz display. That's the fastest display I've got, up to 50% blur reduction. But on, okay, what's this? Okay, so at 480 Hz pan, 83% blur reduction. Guys, educate me on this. I'm not going to pretend to know that I know everything here. However, it does sound very, very interesting. I like using stuff like scan lines, shadow mask, all that stuff to recreate that kind of CRT look on a modern display. If you've checked this out, or if you are going to check this out, let me and viewers of the channel know. Educate us more about this. But yeah, it just sounds truly amazing. Something I featured on the channel previously, guys, and you know what? It is amazing. We now have a native PC port of Star Fox 64. I did a video on it. It is fantastic, guys. It is the best way of playing this game. Star Fox 64 was one of the best games on the Nintendo 64. I absolutely loved, adored, and I played it a lot. And honestly, I can tell you that this is the best way of playing it. Now, it's very difficult to see myself going back to the N64 when this option is available. However, when I am playing like N64, doing N64 streams, yeah, I'll likely play it again, because Star Fox 64 is just amazing. But you want to play this, you don't need a powerful PC for this, you don't need like an expensive GPU. This will run on like most systems out there. So super, definitely try it out. Let me just go over to the GitHub page. So what you can do is you can go over to the GitHub page and make sure when you download the zip that's down here, you give the README a read. That's why the README is there, and it will give you instructions as in how to get this up and running for yourself. Yeah, you will need a copy of your own ROM, but everything else you need is there. So get playing this. If you're going to play one game this weekend, play this game. It is wicked. Calling all Marvel vs. Capcom fans. Marvel vs. Capcom is a great line of fighting games. Now, I like the games, I'm just not very good at them. I just can't get used to that super jumping and combos that go into hundreds of hits sometimes. However, I definitely appreciate the games. Now, the main person that was behind the development or funded the development was Maximilian Dood, another content creator. Very, very cool guy. I remember him from the original Xbox Capcom vs. SNK 2 days. Very, very good guy. So if you know Marvel vs. Capcom, Marvel vs. Capcom 1 was a great game. That's probably my favorite one out of all of them because it's on CPS2. I like the backgrounds. The pixel art is fantastic. Marvel vs. Capcom 2 was very, very popular indeed. Marvel vs. Capcom 3 again was a popular and a good game. Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, although it was played a little bit, it was quickly dropped. People just didn't like it that much. So Maximilian Dood funded this along with other people that contributed to this to kind of balance and fix up this game. And honestly guys, I didn't have this game in my library. I'm not really into the MVC games, but I bought this to support this project and have a look at it. And I was playing it in bed yesterday on a handheld PC, and for the whole part I was actually enjoying myself. I'm just going to play the trailer here a little bit, but this does a lot of balance fixes in there. So if you're a Marvel vs. Capcom fan, you'll definitely appreciate this, and you probably know about this already. Marvel vs. Capcom, this works with a Steam version. The Steam version's on sale at the moment, but I went over to CD Keys where I found it for £3.79, the base game without the additional DLC characters. So if you want to check this out guys, I strongly recommend it. It's great, it's awesome. So let's have a look. Okay, so the download links are here. I'll leave a link to this, mvcib.com. This is the only place to get a link from. Be careful when downloading patches and things online. Sometimes fake ones are up there. Make sure you're going to the correct URL. I downloaded it via the MediaFire link. You can also grab it from Nexus Mods. Over here it gives you full instructions how to install it, how you extract it. There's a folder in there. You just add that to your Steam folder. It even tells you how to get that one. Different game modes. It's got a full breakdown of everything that takes place. And even though I'm like I say, I'm not heavily into these games, I wanted to try it out and it just feels damn good. I don't know it well enough to know what the differences are though. So definitely try this out. If you've got the game already, get the patch. If you're interested in playing this game, then maybe grab a copy of the game. It's currently on sale on Steam. You can pick up a cheap Steam key from key resellers as well and give this a shot. I'm a fan of Master Linkway's work, and this time they've released Super Star Wars Holiday Special for the Mega Drive, and this is on my list of games that I do want to play. Likely if I do a Mega Drive live stream in the future, I'll feature this game, and there's some other games that I want to feature as well. But guys, if you want this, you can go check this out. It's always a free download via itch.io. However, you can leave a voluntary contribution if you're happy with Master Lunkei's work. But hey, I grew up playing Star Wars. I love it, and you know what? We can now have a Mega Drive Star Wars game that we can enjoy ourselves. A holiday special on itch.io from Master Linkway. An absolute classic arcade game, Shinobi. Now, if you had a Neo Geo back in the day and you were like, man, the only machine I got is a Neo Geo, I really want to play like Shinobi. The Master System has it, the PC Engine has it, and the various home computers have it, but no, I want it for my Neo Geo. Well, your dream has finally come true. Hoffman here says, Shinobi Neo Geo port update. Gameplay is 100% and now we got sound too. So well done, and that looks every bit as good as the arcade version of Shinobi. Saturn Bomberman Fight has received a fan translation into English, so now you can enjoy this game and actually understand all the quirky remarks the characters are making towards one another. You can go through the tutorial in the English language so it can explain the game to you. And if you are going to play this game on your Sega Saturn, or like I did on my MiSTer FPGA, definitely check out the tutorial because it will give you, well, it will tell you how to play the game. It's different to most Bomberman games in the fact that it's an isometric view game. You've got like a 2.5D view or 2.5D kind of graphical style for this. As well as that, you don't die after one bomb. you actually have an energy bar, and when the energy bar depletes, you know, you lose the round, or your character loses. It's got different game modes in there, such as obviously battle for multiplayer, story, as well as survival. Guys, this is a fun game. Play this wherever you want to play it, whether it's on original hardware, via like something like a Zaparoo, like the MiSTer FPGA where I played it, a software emulator. Just play it where you're going to play it. If you're going to play it in bed on your Steam Deck, just play it, try it out. Absolutely awesome work from the community when they do translations like this. And you can get more information on this from where I got information on this, which is from Sega Saturn Shiro. And credit to everyone. I think the main developer on this is Malenko, that you can see here, but there's a lot more other people involved in there. I'll leave a link to my video which goes into more detail about this and the people involved, and I'll leave a link to this article as well if you want to patch up your version of the game. It's got a special patching tool that comes with this patch, and it makes everything very, very easy for you to do. But yeah, amazing seeing this stuff. Check out Bomberman Fight. I absolutely love Toki. Guys, I really enjoyed this game in the arcade, and I was super happy when Salau Retro Gaming gave us an FPGA core for the MiSTer as well as the Analogue Pocket. So this tweet here from David Bottino: Toki remastered level 1 demo available. Download link in bio. Well, I've gone over to that download link and it takes us to an itch.io page. But guys, this looks really, really good. Honestly, whenever I look at this stuff on systems or computers like the Commodore 64, I like to cast my brain back to a time where I had the Commodore 64. If I went to the arcade and I played this in the arcade and then I had this when I played home, I would have been mind blown, man. I mean, look how darn good it looks. So if you want to check this out now, you can head over. I'll leave all links in the description as I normally do. If you're a Commodore 64 fan, then you definitely want to try this out. And I'm very, very impressed with the tech, or what people are able to squeeze out of Commodore 64. We've got stuff like the Capcom versus SNK games. We've got a Limbo game that's being made. And honestly, it just looks amazing. So guys, we have reached the end of the video, and that wraps it up for this week. I really do hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, then a subscription and a like is always super duper appreciated. Be absolutely awesome to one another. This is Pixel Cherry Ninja out.